Hi, my name is John, and I want to bring up a subject that is very controversial. It's racism. We all know what racism means, and when we think of racism, it comes to mind black against white, violence, murder, just totally breaking down another nation. I'm quite curious as to why this is. From a Christian perspective, being a Christian and living in South Africa, which is a country that has experienced a tremendous amount of racialism, I was curious as to know why people think in certain ways. Being a Christian, I believe that God created all men, that we are created in His likeness and His image, and therefore we are all equal. And yet, if I look around, I see that that is not the case. That many people's thinking tends to put themselves above other people. I had the unfortunate experience of spending time with a group of white people who referred to the black people as Kaffers all the time, and not really understanding why they were doing this. I asked them if they knew what the word meant, and was absolutely astounded when they said no, they didn't. So I decided to look it up, and I was quite interested to see that it's not actually a South African word, but a word that came from Arabic origin. And basically it was the Arab slave traders who were capturing people and then selling them into slave trade. And the word basically comes from the word kafara, which means unbeliever. I then decided to look a little bit further at some of the other names, like the American Negroes. Where does the name Negro come from? And found out it was from Portuguese and Spanish descent, meaning dark, or from the Latin word niger, which means dark as well. And yeah, so these words were not originally meant to have derogative meanings, but through time they eventually got that. I then decided I wanted to find out exactly what racism is. How prevalent is racism? So I started looking into the subject, and I came across an the American psychology department that says there are 4 different types of racism. And I'm just going to have to read them off here because I'm still busy working on this. The one is internalized, the other one's interpersonal, the other one's institutional, and the other one's structural. I don't have time on this video to go through all of those. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making further videos in which I'm going to actually go through that and take each one and actually explain it in detail. And that will give us a basis of what we can see what racism is actually broken down to be. I'm going to be making further videos. Of course, the first one I'm going to be doing after I've done the one on the different forms is about white-black racism. How it came to be, when it started, why it was started, and where are we today as far as that is concerned. This is a very, very big subject. And on further reflection, I realized that there are many different forms of racism, not just one. We don't just have the black-white issue, but we have different nations fighting different nations. I think of the Jews that were genocided by the Germans during the Second World War. Think about the American Revolution, where the North was fighting against the South, and about the slavery that came along with it. And I decided that I'm going to make a series of videos just to try educate people and to get a better understanding of this, so that we can face this issue and face this problem that we're still experiencing to this day in a modern civilized society, and find out why it is, what it is, and how we can actually all stand together and come to a better point. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more and want to follow the route that I'm going to travel, Please feel welcome to subscribe, and that way you won't miss my other videos. I'm also busy working on a blog at the moment where I'm going to be posting a lot of different things, such as graphical content, where it is actually shown the different types of racism. Not only that, but also people's comments and what people tend to think of it. We all have our own different worldviews that are created from birth by our culture and our religious beliefs and all that sort of thing. So I'm going to be doing a series on culture. I'm going to be doing a series on religion. And please feel free to join me. Please feel free to comment. I'm 64 years old, but I'm still learning every day. And I'd like to hear your comments and what you have to say about this. Come on, let's all stand together. Let's see if we can beat this thing. Thank you.